Hi lovies, welcome to our channel. I'm Jenna Jillian.
And I'm Jillian.
We're identical twins.
And this is Twinson.
It's our spin on all things health, beauty, and fitness. And today we have a very special guest. Her name is Haley. And she is a holistic and acne coach, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what she does and who she is.
So, hi everyone, I'm Haley. Thank you guys for having me on today. I'm a holistic acne coach, so I work one-on-one with women that suffer from pretty much chronic acne all the way to eczema. I have a skincare line, and then I also just produce programs for people to follow and heal their skin internally.
Yes, and I've been following Haley, and we always have struggled with acne problems, so she's super informational, super knowledgeable, and we have some questions for her. So we wanted to start, what is your personal story with acne?
So I got acne when I was in 7th and 8th grade, like just around puberty time. Very mild, but still annoying. I don't know. No one likes pimples.
Same with us.
I don't know anyone that enjoys pimples. So, my mom took me to a drugstore and we got all those oxy pads and all the things you could find at like CVS. Worked okay. I don't know if it just made my skin really irritated. Went to high school, my skin continually got worse. My mom was like, we need to go to a dermatologist. So I went to a dermatologist from freshman year of high school to my first year of college. So it was like 13, 14, I think, and then all the way to 19. Was on antibiotics, was on different topicals, different creams. It would like come and go. Like, I don't know if you guys ever did any of the antibiotics or creams or anything, but like it'd be good for a couple weeks and then be really bad, and like they'd rotate me on antibiotics, and they never really gave me a clear-cut answer of why I was breaking out. Just I was breaking out and you had to do this and this to manage it. Right. When I turned 19 is when my skin got really bad, and I got broken out all over my chest, my back, my neck, and all over my face. It was very cystic, and went to the dermatologist for the last time and was in tears and pretty much told her like, what can I do? Like, what's going to be the end result? Like, when is this going to stop? And she pretty much just looked at me. She's like, you're going to have acne forever. You just have to keep doing this to maintain it. And I was just, I don't know, it's very emotional to have acne. So I was crying, really upset, and she just did not have the bedside manner at all. I was super upset. I was like, well, I'm going to figure this out by myself. I said, I can't be on antibiotics anymore. Like, my body was just like, I couldn't be in the sun. My skin was super irritated and red and flaky. So I pretty much told her I'm going to leave and figure it out myself.
Right.
So that was, I think I had just turned 19, so it was like a September, like 2013, I think. And from then on, I changed my diet, changed my skincare routine, went completely plant-based, and not that you have to do that, but that was pretty drastic to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how everything started.
I give you a lot of credit, because I feel like we went to dermatologists too, and I feel like our issue is the same. It was, try these products. They might make your skin worse at first.
Yeah.
But when they did that, I felt like we never really wanted to stick to the regimen that they prescribed, because we never saw any differences in our skin, and it made it worse.
Like, if you stopped, like, I remember if I stopped doing the cream or if I stopped the antibiotic, because some of the antibiotics would make me nauseous, and if I didn't have food or if I ate food too late or whatever, I would get really sick and sometimes throw up. So it was so hard on my system, so I'd stop. Like, obviously I don't feel good, so I'm not going to keep taking them. If I would stop, my skin would get so much worse. I'm like, this cannot be the only way to heal your skin. Like, it's just so hard.
It was like resolving a problem, but here's some other problems that you might have.
Yeah, a lot of those stuff that the dermatologist gives you would just dry my skin or be painful, and I just feel like, I'm not doing this, and they're expensive too, so it's not even like...
Every time my mom would be like, this is like another copay or whatever, and the antibiotics were an arm and a leg, we keep doing them you can rotate them like every 4 months or something. I never was on Accutane, but I was on the antibiotics.
I think that's when we started with some of our birth control experience, trying to use that as a way to control our acne.
Yeah.
And we never saw very significant results.
Yeah.
And then they're like, now what?
Yeah, if I come off, my skin's going to explode, and I'm like, yeah, it might. For do these steps, you could try to get your hormones back to balance and like remove all these synthetic hormones that are just circulating in your body. So yeah, the whole birth control thing that dermatologists recommend, I'm just like, why? Like, come on. You went to school for how many years and you're just gonna be like, take this.
Right.
But if you do any form of research, you can look and see the side effects that come with birth control and pretty much read that it's just a band-aid. It's not really gonna balance your hormones. It might mask the symptoms for a little bit, but a lot of my clients get their acne way worse the longer they're on birth control. It just is like so frustrating to me. That's what they recommend.
Right.
It's just like,
our professional medical field. But
So you mentioned a lot about research. So what have you done, fast forward to now, with setting up your clientele, doing your research on skincare and acne? What do you do?
So, I think that's what you're asking. Like, so I went to school at 19. I was going to school to be a veterinary technician. I didn't really like blood. So I did that for, I think, either half a year or a year. It's a 2-year program, and I stopped doing the program, and my skin was getting really bad. So I went to it's called IAN. I'll do a little plug on it. After I went to school and I finished my degree and got it in nutrition, they weren't huge on actually like topical skin, but they did a lot on detoxing and just really restoring the body back to health. So that's where a lot of my base knowledge comes from. And then I got really into Chinese medicine. I started seeing an acupuncturist, really figuring out like how your body, like how each breakout has an actual meaning for your inside of your body, and so that really fascinated me. And then I just do a lot of research just on traditional medicine and I'm a big love herbs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine. I like anything that's like old, like thousands of years. And like, what did they do way back then? Because there's obviously a reason.
something's not working right now.
Yeah. Like what? And some of the things that they did back then obviously didn't work, like bloodletting and stuff. But but there's some stuff that still works to now, and I just kind of implement that now into my protocols with the clients I have.
Nice.
Yeah, so I didn't go to any like specific school for skin health, just for like
A lot of self-research.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So then we wanted to ask you, like, what do you think causes acne? Like, obviously there's probably a million different things.
Yeah.
Different
But,
types.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it goes back to. I mean, there's a lot.
Yes, I know, it's a
There's
heavy
lot.
question.
Inflammation, I guess, would be the easiest answer. Like, so either you have food sensitivity, gut inflammation, inflammation in the liver, hormone inflammation. Like, that's what it's going to come down to. A form of inflammation in some part of the body, whether that's bacteria, fungus, parasitic, anything like that is a little bit harder to pinpoint. Like, you could try all of those, and obviously one of them would probably work.
Right. But everyone's different, obviously.
Everyone is so different. All my clients, all my clients are so different. I'm just like, each time I write a protocol, it's always so different from the time before where someone had gut inflammation or someone had a liver toxicity or hormone imbalances and stuff, where just because you're a woman does not automatically mean you have a hormone imbalance. I feel like
some people think that.
I at least get like 3 messages a day. I have a hormone imbalance, and just like, probably don't, but
Let's look into it.
Yeah, let me look into it for you for a second. But a lot of it just stems from an inflammation, whether that was given to you at birth. This is what I always like revert back to how I think about acne. My dad did or still does chewing tobacco, and so however your parents' health were when they conceived you can also be passed to you, so you can get your father's liver or your mother's liver or whatever. And so a lot of those genes can get passed down. It doesn't mean you can't reverse those though. It's just what you're kind of given to when you're a baby, what the genes you get. So you can turn on and off your genes though. So don't ever feel like I'm predisposed to X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, you might be, but you can turn those off. They don't have to stay on or ever turn on.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a lot of root causes for acne, and I know a lot of clients come to you with their problems. How do you get to narrowing down or pinpointing what the cause actually is? How do you work with them on that?
The first thing we go through is they'll send me just their face, so front to side to side, pictures of their skin. I'll look at it to see what their body's physically telling them. Like, hey, breaking out by your temples or breaking between your eyes over and over again. I'll look and see, like, obviously for me that's a very easy indication that they have a liver toxicity of some sort, where their liver isn't processing something, or it's being overburdened. But they fill out a 10-page questionnaire, and I kind of go through it to see what pretty much is all of their health, what they're eating, what their parents' health was, what their dietary needs have been, what prescriptions they've been on in the past, just a lot of health that they've gone to reach this point. And typically what their face tells me and then what they physically write pretty much match up. And they may not be able to see it, but when I repeat it back to them, they're like, oh, like it's just like a light bulb. Like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, I had this as a kid growing up, and you're telling me that this is like not I don't want to say not working, but not functioning at high efficiency. And like, oh, that makes sense and everything. They're like, just like the puzzle falls together. So it's a lot of them filling out a questionnaire and then me just physically looking at them to pinpoint. And sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes it's a little bit, we gotta work through it. But for the most part, it's pretty much them just telling me, they pretty much already know. Right. They just want someone to confirm it with them. But yeah, that's pretty much.
That's amazing. I mean, I think about when I went to the dermatologist and they just look at your skin and like, oh yeah, you have acne, or you might write down a couple symptoms, but no one's ever taken the time to ask me questions about my environment, my nutrition, my parents,
lifestyle.
Yeah. It's a very holistic approach and, you know, all-inclusive, which I think could really get to that problem and help you start taking steps towards a solution.
I think most of what my clients say, they're like, you actually sat down and listened to me. And I was like, yeah, I was on the other side of that for a really long time where a dermatologist couldn't care what I said. Didn't care that I was nauseous, didn't care that I was continually to break out, didn't care that I was red. This is what you're going to take, like, walk out the door.
I'll take your money too, basically.
Yeah.
Next appointment's like 6 months off. I mean, it's really hard to get in sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know how long your appointments were, but mine were, I'd probably wait in the waiting room for 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'd sit with a nurse for 10, and then I'd see a doctor for maybe 3.
Right,
there was
just how it goes.
And just like, did you listen to me? Did I get to talk to someone? Like, it was so frustrating. And my mom was always frustrated. Like, this is so, like,
because she saw how hurt you were.
Yeah.
I mean, because it definitely affects your whole, you couldn't be in the sun. I mean,
it affects your self-esteem.
You feel like bullied by others. I don't know. It's just,
well, you never want to be around other people because you're afraid that that's the only thing they're looking at, and you're like, you know, hide under a paper bag, like,
you use makeup to mask the problem.
And I was never good with makeup. Obviously, they are great at makeup, but I wasn't good at it. And so it was just like really frustrating. Like, okay, you put this on. I don't know. I just looked fake, and I didn't like the way makeup made me look, and I didn't like the way makeup made me feel. I felt like I broke out. That was before I knew. I didn't know that makeup was bad for your skin at that time. Like, or now they have way better.
Right, neither did we.
It's just frustrating because you go through this cycle of like what's causing it, and
you might just be feeding the problem with all the other products that you're putting on to mask it, like you said.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
Definitely.
Or it can be frustrating if you don't have someone helping to guide you. Like, okay, go down this path. Let's get rid of the junky stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, so you talked about how you talk to your clients. You want to talk about your skin lines, some of the masks and products that you've created? We brought 2 of them today that we love.
Sure. Okay, so this is the first one I created. You probably can't see.
I know, we're going to have to zoom it in.
Yeah, this is my chlorella mask. This is the one that I originally created for acne. This is just pretty much a line though for anyone that has acne or acne-prone skin, because that's what I suffered with. So I wanted to kind of make fun masks for everyone for specific problems, but this one is for acne and oily skin or acne prone skin. It's really clean. I didn't want there to be anything that could irritate or clog or cause you to get more acne. There's no preservatives, no like funky stuff that's going to keep it alive. It's got to stay in the fridge or it can really just die pretty much. There's nothing keeping it fresh except if you put it in the fridge. But it's all clay-based and food ingredients, so you could technically eat this. I had a client, or not a client, she was a person that bought a mask. She said she had put a mask on and someone fell into her oatmeal and she's like, I could still eat it. I'm like,
that's great. She's multitasking at the greatest.
I felt like I was getting good vitamins. I was like, you were so cute. I was like, and that was like the only time I'm like, yeah, you technically can.
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing in here. You can't not eat it.
That's nice to know. I mean, it's on your face, so think about how that product is just going directly into your skin.
Yeah.
And if you're able to ingest it, it must be.
I mean, they always tell you, like, I don't have any kids, I don't think you guys have kids either, but
no,
they tell you, like,
babies.
for babies, if you're putting something on them, that you should be able to eat it, because, like, you don't want to give your baby anything toxic. So I'm like, I need to make this, like, as if this was for a baby, like, so safe and gentle. And so another thing, these are really safe for pregnant and breastfeeding moms. which I know a lot of moms, after they give birth, they can have acne, or if they're pregnant, can also like get acne because their hormones are going different ways and stuff. But the other mask I have is my rose mask, and this is for more mature skin, but it can also just be for like when your skin's super dry and you just feel like you don't have any moisture in your skin. Has, like they said, they told me they love the smell of it. It's so soft, like pretty much like a rose. It was called rose. But yeah, all of my masks are clay based with a coconut nectar, and so it's 100% vegan. If that's something that you resonate with, I didn't want to put honey in this just because, just different reasons. That kind of stuff. But if you do like honey, you can always use that on your skin as well. I just didn't want to use that. Coconut nectar is a very similar consistency and very good for your skin as well. But yeah, these are all for pretty much all for acne, but they also have some underlying benefits as well. And I have 2 other ones. These are just 2 of them.
And then how often do you recommend your clients using the masks?
It really depends on the client. Some of my clients use them every day. They're not going to dry out your skin. I kind of created them to be not drying. A lot of clay masks are very drying on the skin, and you want that moisture. If you ever take all that moisture away, you're just going to get all that oil right back on your skin. So I didn't want these to be drying. I wanted them to be hydrating and nourishing for the skin. So anyone that has acne has been told, like, gotta dry out the pimple, dry out the pimple. You don't really want to do that because that can cause scarring and leftover redness. You really just want to keep nourishing it with a lot of moisture. Eventually it will heal. So yeah, these are not drying, they're very easy. So you can use them 2 to 3 times a week, or as much as you want. Like, there's really no downside to it. A lot of my clients will use these before like events and stuff just to brighten their complexion.
Yeah, I have to say this one I noticed like right after use, my skin felt so much brighter.
Yeah.
We both struggle with like, it's like combo kind of like we're oily sometimes, we're dry a lot of the times. So
right.
It was hard to find
season
one.
change too.
Yeah,
So.
anytime. Yeah, these are great for seasonal changes because you can tell like when the air starts to change, either like it gets very humid or it starts to get dry, like your skin just goes through that period of like adjustment, and so these can help with the adjustment period of relaxing your skin.
I love it.
I love it too. You guys have to try it. And it has tea tree oil in it, which
The acne
I love. That's what I use. I've been spot treating my face if I ever
Get a breakout.
I
That's
feel like
so
it's the
good.
only thing that works. And I love how
Kills the bacteria. It's so good for like anything topical. And then the other one, that ingredient I have in almost all my masks are, it's called sea buckthorn. Some people are just scared to use oils and stuff, but don't be scared to use them in moderation. Sea buckthorn is known to just really, really pull out any impurities and really help to just heal the skin and like transform it very rapidly. So I put sea buckthorn, I think, in all of my, I'm trying to remember, in all my masks, I think. They're all based for acne.
perfect. So then I also wanted to ask you, so what in your opinion is the biggest like misconception that people have like when in regards to skin health? So I mean, obviously you thought the one thing that you mentioned was they always have to dry out the pimple.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what you would say, or are there other things that people come to?
Big misconception is, since it's like topically on your skin, that the only way to heal it would be something topical, which is not anything close to the truth. I know probably your dermatologist has told you that as well. But yeah, treating your acne internally is just going to give you the lasting results. Treating it topically will help, and obviously help the texture of your skin and the redness to eventually fade and things like that. But to prevent reoccurring breakouts, treating it internally is what's going to really help to just heal your body as a whole and not just your face.
Right. Or just the Band-Aid kind of like you said.
Yeah, just like the Band-Aid, yeah.
So going off that question, what would you suggest would be one tip for our listeners, one thing that they could do that would help them with their acne, or where to start? What's the easiest way to start with this?
Water is a big thing for me. I know you're probably rolling your eyes because, oh my god, another person has mentioned water. But like, I'm so serious. Like, water is a lot of the reason like people age and people continue to like get their skin starts to deteriorate is because we're not hydrated. You can, I don't know if you do an experiment, like drink less water one week and drink a lot of water the next week, you can tell your skin just looks so much more plump and happy and hydrated, opposed to when you don't drink water and your body's just like a dry raisin. We need to have water. So drinking good water, I'm always a proponent to drink filtered water and not tap water, just because there's a lot of chemicals in tap water depending on where you live. You can always pull that up on the internet and see what your city water is like and what they add to it. We don't really want anything added to your water.
Right.
We want it just to be water and clean. So definitely look into investing in a good filter and things like that. My next tip would be looking into like an anti-inflammatory diet to really see what is triggering to your skin, because most of the time when you have acne, you have inflammation and it's most likely going to be in your gut. So you want to be able to pinpoint, okay, is dairy triggering to me? Is gluten triggering to me? Is that banana triggering to me? Like there's a lot of foods that you might not think are, but pinpointing them each way can really help you.
And they're just like, I'm eating healthy, but it doesn't mean that you don't have like an intolerance or something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna write a post about this because like healthy is such a relative term. Like healthy could
what do you mean? Right.
Yeah, what does healthy mean? Or what? Yeah, I don't know. So like that's it's not frustrating to me, but I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, oh yeah, I eat just plants, or I eat paleo, or I eat keto. Like that's healthy to some people, but it's not healthy for everyone. There's no one diet that fits everyone. So that's why I work with my clients. Like I'm 100% plant-based, but not all my clients are, because they need to eat what's best for them, not what's best for me. So diet can be a really hard one, but eventually, once you get in tune with your body and you really start switching things up and eating more natural, eating more organic, you can start to see, okay, what benefits am I seeing, or what do I know is not like serving me? Loaded and you don't feel great, then don't eat it.
Right. What are the effects that it has? Is it worth it for you?
Yeah, exactly. And then I would say probably cutting out dairy is a huge one. I know that's probably really sad for some people.
Cheese lovers, yeah.
Exactly. But if you are sensitive, that even means like hard cheeses, yogurts, butters,
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Does it help
Throw in
cut back? Like, or do you have to like eliminate it completely?
I would always eliminate it completely for at least 3 months, and then some people, after they eliminate it, see their benefits, and then slowly add in certain ones. I know some people that are very sensitive to dairy, but they can eat hard cheeses and not see it like a reaction. But for most people, if you're sensitive to dairy, you're most likely always going to be sensitive to dairy. We're technically not designed to eat or drink cow's milk. We don't have the enzymes to break it down. We lose those after the age of 5. Because we drink our mother's milk, we stop producing the enzymes to break down that at the age of 5. So, and it's essentially breast milk for calf and stuff. So we don't have those enzymes, even if we wanted to break it down. Like you could take a digestive enzyme to help you break it down, but naturally we do not have those after the age of 5.
Really good to know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I know, it's just really upsetting for some people. Like, I love cheese, I love cheese. I'm like, I would be the first person to tell you I freaking love cheese. But I also like other
You want to look good and feel good.
Yeah.
So,
There are sacrifices.
It's best for your body.
yeah, and you'll feel so good. I don't miss it. I can get dairy-free cheeses if I want.
There's so many options.
Yeah.
I mean, for that lifestyle. So.
Yeah. Try it out. If it's not for you, you do not have to follow it, but it's a really good step to start. Is cutting out dairy. I've seen a lot of my clients really enjoy it because they like, oh, I have better digestion. I'm not bloated all the time. My skin isn't constantly red. I don't have reoccurring breakouts. Like, it's a simple step to remove. It might take you a second to read labels and figure out what is hiding in all of your food, but
Yeah, it sounds like the benefits might outweigh
Yeah.
that loss.
Definitely worth it.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Nice. Well, where can our listeners find your page, and where can they reach out to you?
So my website is HaleyFerretti.com, which is, I'll probably put it in the notes.
Yeah, for sure.
And then my Instagram is Haley_Ferretti. Those are my 2 places that I'm most likely at. And if you guys ever have questions or anything like that, you can always email me through my website or just direct message me. I try to answer as many messages as I can per day and get back to you guys with good information. Obviously, I can't cure you over the phone through a direct message, but I try my best to give you the best tips and direction to take, things like that.
Thank you so much for coming on here today. I really
Thank you.
feel like I learned so much just from talking to you, and I hope you guys did too. And definitely follow her. Her page is so informational, and I love everything that she's putting out.
Yeah, and maybe surge into getting one of these masks. We really do love them, and I'm going to make it a part of my routine just because I've noticed how brightening has been for my skin. So thanks for all of your tips and knowledge.
Thank
We
you
really
for
appreciate
having
it.
me. It's awesome.
Yes. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.